This module is intended to help flight crew members understand their expected participation in their company's own safety management system, SMS policy, including duties, responsibilities, and benefits. At the end of this module, you will be able to recognize the Safety Management System, SMS framework, identify other aviation safety regulation agencies, describe 4 primary components associated with the SMS program, identify useful elements linked to SMS, including safety policy, risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion practices. In 2006, the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, established a standard which requires member countries to mandate a safety management system implementation for commercial air operators, which must do the following: identify safety hazards, implement remedial actions to fix them, monitor and assess the system, and constantly strive to improve SMS practices. To accomplish this implementation, in 2010, the U.S. FAA was directed to ensure each Part 121 air carrier implements a safety management system by March 2018. Other regulatory agencies, including CASA, EASA, and Transport Canada, have similar mandates for member carriers. Therefore, your company should be on track to have an SMS in some stage of implementation. What is an SMS? SMS is an organizational approach to identifying threats and controlling associated risks. The primary purpose of the SMS is to proactively manage risk from a systemic perspective down to a level as low as reasonably practicable. Pilots are generally familiar with aviation systems. Therefore, any safety management system can be a complex topic with many aspects to consider. But simply put, it is a decision-making system with a burden loaded on our already busy work environment. In fact, the expected level of participation of a flight crew member in SMS is not an additional encumbrance, but rather a simple integration of common-sense safety elements into normal flight operations. Let's begin by going over some basics to see what the rest of your company is doing with this system. SMS works through 4 components: safety policy, safety risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion, all the while running the system right along with your company's operation. The first component, safety policy, sets company objectives, assigns responsibilities, and sets standards. This initiative starts with upper management's buy-in, showing their commitment to safe operations to all flight crew personnel. This is essential. Individuals need to see the investment from top management's focus towards SMS in order to commit yourselves to its success. To establish effective safety practices, a safety policy must catch on with all flight crew members as a mutual trust, to ensure a personal accountability and responsibility for safety which supports an informed, reporting, and learning culture within an airline. This means you are a frontline safety resource and are empowered to report threats in a non-punitive environment. What does this statement mean? In a just or no-blame culture, you are encouraged and even rewarded for providing essential safety-related information and without fear of retribution. Safety policy will also state what is and what is not acceptable behavior. It is important to show support for self-reported inadvertent or accidental issues versus intolerance for willful and intentional disregard for safe operations. The next component aviation safety managers implement is safety risk management, a decision-making process to identify hazards and mitigating risk, which means accepting minimal inevitable risk but setting controls to reduce risks to a low level when possible. This involves risk assessments to chart hazards. The assessment is based on how likely an event is to occur versus the severity of an outcome. Another component is the goal for safety assurance, in which safety managers watch what is going on, review what has happened, and plan what's next. This process monitors and measures safety performance in a forum beyond flight operations, including technical operations, along with handling personnel to ensure safety coordination throughout the whole company. The outcome from this effort comes back to you as a pilot in the form of company communications and training. This module discussed the systematic approach to managing safety, which included Safety Management System SMS framework, recognition of other regulatory agencies, defined the meaning and purpose of SMS, explained and examined 4 SMS components: safety policy, safety risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotion. At the end of this module, you will be able to describe and select appropriate Safety Management System SMS reporting practices. Identify alternative SMS operation tools beneficial in determining existing and/or potential SMS hazards. Indicate specific safety audit types to identify threats to operational safety. The primary SMS role as a flight crew member is to help identify operational hazards. Flight operation reporting tools should include both mandatory and voluntary reports. The airline should be supporting a non-punitive environment for good faith reporting, whereby pilots are expected to report threats and errors without jeopardy. There are 2 safety reporting categories, mandatory and voluntary. Mandatory reporting, such as Captain's Irregularity Reports, CIRs, or Irregular Operations Reports, IORs, or similar, are used to report operational or security concerns for specific incidents listed in your company's mandatory submission requirements. Conversely, Voluntary Aviation Safety Action Program, ASAP, Flight Safety Action Program, FSAP, or Aviation Safety Reporting System, affiliation of NASA, reports should be considered anytime a pilot deviation may have occurred and/or for safety-related issues. Mandatory Irregular Operations Reports provide a standardized means of reporting incidents requiring a statement from pilots. They are reviewed by flight operations managers, and the contents may be used to submit reports to government regulatory agencies like the U.S. FAA and NTSB or equivalent. Mandatory safety reports may also involve security and other operational concerns, but for the purposes of the SMS, we are talking safety issues and/or deviations from regulatory or flight operations manual procedures. Such reports can also be filed to simply report a concern to your company. The primary purpose of the ASAP-FSAP reporting system is to identify safety events and to implement corrective measures that reduce the opportunity for safety to be compromised. The SMS program is voluntary and provides a cooperative, non-punitive environment for the open reporting of safety of flight concerns. A flight crew member should submit an ASAP-FSAP report anytime an actual or potential event arises from an FAR deviation, SOP violation, failure to follow ATC instructions, etc., or anytime you, the pilot, want to confidentially report a safety of flight event. NASA reporting invites you to report actual or potential discrepancies and deficiencies to NASA involving the safety of aviation operations. Based on information obtained from this program, the U.S. FAA takes corrective action as necessary to correct deficiencies in the national aviation system. To support the SMS program and its data collection, some companies automatically forward ASAP-FSAP reports directly into the NASA system. NASA reporting invites you to report actual or potential discrepancies and deficiencies to NASA involving the safety of aviation operations. Based on information obtained from this program, the U.S. FAA takes corrective action as necessary to correct deficiencies in the national aviation system. To support the SMS program and its data collection, some companies automatically forward ASAP-FSAP reports directly into the NASA system. An SMS tool that flight operations may use to identify hazards is a process called Flight Operations Quality Assurance, FOQA. which is also referred to as Operational Flight Data Monitoring, FDM. This process involves the downloading and analysis of aircraft flight recorder data on a regular and routine basis to enhance flight safety. Flight Operations Quality Assurance (FOQA) analysis of flight data allows safety managers to identify trends and fully investigate the circumstances behind minor incidents so that operational procedures and training can be improved, along with raising awareness of safety issues within the company. FOQA FDM findings are kept confidential. The anonymity of the crew is ensured by de-identifying the data and through the close involvement of pilot unions or associations in the FDM process. Event data may also be pooled with other airlines, so wider and longer-term trends can be identified and corrective action taken. Importantly, analysts can also look at collected data from normal operations to identify trends before there is a significant event or incident. Line Operations Safety Audit, LOSA, involves observing actual flight deck operations on a no-jeopardy basis. This is a man-machine human factors concept built around crew resource management training and the threat and error management model. LOSA aims to identify threats to operational safety, identify and minimize the risks which are the origin of such threats, and implement measures to manage the human error aspects of the risk. Line Operations Safety Audit, LOSA, uses trained observers riding along on flight deck jump seats to collect pilot behavior data in the context of normal flights. Such monitoring records data to help manage strategies to combat threats, errors, and undesirable states. LOSA audits are conducted under strict no-jeopardy conditions. Therefore, flight crews are not held accountable for their actions and errors that are observed. Besides risk management aspects, LOSA also reveals examples of superior pilot performance that are used as positive aspect models for use in flight crew training. This module discussed performance standards by which the regulatory agency and others can evaluate safety performance through safety management system documentation, reporting and performance monitoring, which included description of safety management system reporting practices, identified additional SMS operation tools useful to determine existing and/or potential SMS hazards, and indicated SMS audit types used to identify threats to operational safety.